What's up, guys? It's Deepak Shukla here, back again with another Serpwizz report. And head over to serpwizz.com to get your free, instantly actionable SEO audit. And today we're talking about removing unused CSS. So CSS are cascading style sheets. If you think about the HTML as a written text, then the CSS is how to style that to make it look more stylish and pretty to look at. Okay. So when you're putting together style sheets, or sometimes with themes, a lot of it is automatically generated, then you will get lines of code, CSS effectively, which not all of it has been used and a lot of it can be optimized. So this will be something that a lot of you potentially are more familiar with from a kind of page speed perspective. It will be something that you've come across when you look at any of the kind of major tools, which could be Lighthouse, could be GTmetrix, Pingdom, Google Page Speed Insights. There's probably more, but they're the ones that we use certainly that come to mind. And it's something that CSS minification, as you can see here, is something that is definitely can add value to your site. Wow, look at that! Add value to your site and improve things. So I want to have a look at what it says here. Remove dead rules from style sheets and defer the loading of CSS not used for above the fold content to reduce unnecessary bytes consumed by network activity. So your FMP, your first meaningful paint, is when the browser renders and it's the first thing that's above the fold. So you could defer, basically delay loading of CSS that's not above the fold to make sure that in the beginning it's not being something that slows down the site load for the FMP, the FTP and the FMP. So that's really an important consideration. And if we jump into have a look at the from Lighthouse on this, then we'll go to, how unused CSS slows down performance. It wouldn't make sense for a browser to display content before the style sheets have been processed, because the style sheets may affect may contain rules that affect the styling of the page. And each external style sheet must be downloaded from the network, and that's the part that increases time. And if it's unused, it can slow down a browser's construction of the render tree. I don't even know what that means. The render tree is like the DOM tree, except that it also includes the styles for each node. To construct a render tree, a browser must walk through the entire DOM tree and check. So the DOM tree must be the layout of the page, a skeleton, if you like, and the CSS is like the flesh, the sinew, muscles, and bones, or the sinew, muscles, the sinews and muscles and skin that apply to each node. The more unused skin and muscle there is, the more time a browser might potentially need to spend calculating the style for each node. So if you've got a skeleton, but people are only going to see the head and shoulders first, then don't bother with the rest of the body. Focus on the head and shoulders, make that perfect, and then load the rest, if that makes sense. You've got the coverage tab that can be found via Chrome tools, and then also Puppeteer, which I don't know what it is. In terms of ways to improve this, then you can manually do it, which I don't know how to do it. You can automate the process using the critical tool. Don't know what that is either. But basically, reducing the number of WordPress plugins loading unused CSS in your page. Drupal is reducing the number of Joomla extensions, and in Drupal it's removing unneeded CSS rules. So there's probably further insight on this, which you can share with your development team. But fundamentally, and let's Google remove unused CSS SEO to see what comes up. And you know what, guys, it's the same process you're going to see. Follow the same broad rules from the development standpoint, and you can start really speeding things up. So there you have it, guys. That is the consideration for removing unused CSS, and we've got some examples of it right here, which we'll share with you. And the transfer size will tell you, how much savings you could potentially add when looking at this. All right, thanks, guys.